Hello? Aurora Borealis? At this time of year? Flashback? That used to be a car. What's this siren song? Is that diegetic? I imagine it isn't. He called himself Guinan Jr. Maybe it's not oh? Guinan was a cat? I'm sure there's more to that. That's a freaky... Hello?
Don't say anything. It's all over. Everything.
That person is still alive, at least a little bit.
Albedo!
Albedo? I don't know what that is. Why do you have that?
It.
Why do you have that? Why?
What is this place?
Did we see this before?
The
We might have seen
environmental
it.
controls here seem extremely strict.
They're so big. 6 to each side, with one directly across.
13 in all.
Oh,
Looks
of course,
like
there's
each block
13.
has a name inscribed on it.
There's gonna be something
You've got
biblical.
great eyesight.
Let's see.
Let's hear
Peter,
it.
Andrew, Boanerges, Thomas, John,
Philip, Matthew, Bartholomew, James,
Yeah,
Thaddeus,
yeah,
Simon,
yeah.
Judas.
and the last one?
It appears to say Marian Kind.
Marian
Okay.
Kind. I think I've heard that somewhere.
12.
It means the child of Mary.
Yeah, yeah.
This is where we store all the really dangerous items.
Of course it does.
Stuff like this.
But those names, I don't recognize all of them as apostles. Some I do.
Zohars!
Actually, they're all emulators. And they've all been sealed, including the one we just retrieved.
Nintendo fucking
Why
hates
are
them.
these Zohars here?
Well, our corporation does dabble a little in everything. Besides, these days, you can't get by without having something to deal with Xenosis. And we
These help you
definitely
with
can't
that?
wait around for the Federation to get off its lazy butt.
What's in the room across from here?
Nothing pleasant, I'll tell you that much.
You're not going to show us?
Trust me, it ain't something you'd want to see.
Even if we were to consider the
Kinda
diversity of
wanna
your
know, though.
businesses, you're still a Foundation, right? I mean, the weaponry on this ship far outclass those on any warship.
Private sector,
Who are
baby.
you people anyway?
We were more or less a government organization previously.
Oh.
Well, I
Okay.
guess if you want to see it that badly.
Oh, sick. Oh, what's that? Show me. I wanna know what that is. Oh my god.
What
It's like a
is
fucking
this?
tyrant.
I warned you. You weren't gonna like it, didn't I?
All of these
Wow,
specimens
look,
appear
what a
to be
smug
humans
asshole.
whose bodies turned into gnosis.
Transformed bodies. I've only heard of them before.
We fought one
Most people
like
just turn white
yesterday.
and shatter to pieces. But there are a few exceptions.
White
In
and
the
fall
end
to
of
pieces?
this, we've named this one Betty for now.
Betty.
It's hard to look straight at them, but I don't want to refer to them by some code name or number. It's
That is
just
respectable.
not right to treat the dead like mere objects.
Is that a lady?
She was a little girl the last time we saw her.
People turning into Gnosis? Have you learned anything about them?
Not much. Plenty of Gnosis remains have been recovered to date, but nobody's learned a thing from them.
Really?
You know what they're composed of?
I wanna know.
No.
Sodium chloride.
They're
Plain old
salt?
Even their translucent bodies.
Near?
They're mostly made up of water and sodium hydroxide. How can ordinary compounds like that form creatures like them?
They can't.
No one really knows
Yeah,
why those who survive Gnosis
that
encounter
shouldn't be
always
possible.
turn into one of them. Some people think they're a new type of virus. Others say they're beings from another dimension who take on temporary forms in this one.
Right.
Always? No exceptions?
No,
Oh.
not as far as I know.
So they could be from another dimension? Wouldn't that mean that their true forms might exist somewhere else?
Like
Who
Eldrazi.
knows? All that's certain is that they're hostile to humans. Not that such a sentiment is unique to them.
What do you mean? Humans being hostile to
Is
humans?
something wrong? You don't look so good.
Huh? No, don't worry.
Oh, this music goes hard.
So when did this all begin?
Unofficially, phenomena like this have been occurring periodically over the past few centuries.
Centuries.
But after a certain incident, the Gnosis leapt into the forefront of history.
The
A
Czar
certain incident?
The
incident?
Miltian conflict.
Yes, kind of, I guess.
Joachim Mizrahi. It was he who opened Pandora's box and unleashed the Gnosis upon the galaxy.
I appreciate
And we're all
the
paying for his ambition.
imagery.
Joachim Mizrahi, the brilliant scientist who founded the UTIC organization.
Brilliant? He was a lunatic. Unable to bear his curiosity, he invited the Gnosis into our world.
Oh, that sounds like something I would do if I was a scientist in
The foundation
fiction.
was established after the war by the newly formed Second Miltian
Can't
government.
keep my
to clean up and
curiosity in
investigate
tabs.
the facts behind the incident.
I don't know how to
Technically,
English.
that's our real job. Problem is, the funding's tight in peacetime. On top of that, running the foundation takes a staggering amount of money, and the management of these Zohars ain't cheap either. So, we ended up privatizing part of our operations and became a foundation.
Where are you going?
We never imagined that some of our side businesses would hit it so big, though.
Why are you freaking out?
Daddy wasn't like that.
Oh. Right, she was made by... Oh, right. Okay, actually, let me... I'm kind of... I need to refresh some things. Well, let's have a look at Betty then. Specimen of a transformed Gnosis with the Kukai Foundation's possession. Named Betty for the letter B monogrammed on her... Oh, okay. Bormio Universe, I don't remember that. Okay. Is there more info on him now? No. Huh. Yep. Counter-terrorism. Yeah. The literal translation is anti-terror. Isn't counter-terrorism more English than anti-terror? Whatever. God and man, man and reality. Curry. Okay. Is that talking about like this game being showed off at a game show? That's crazy. Beta? Digibeta, okay. A plant? Okay. Digitalis plant. DME addiction. Real. Oh, right. Like the Virgil guy. Don't forget to take your meds. To maintain the effects of a personality corrective procedure. Jeez. Huh. What else we got? Emulator. Let's read about that. Hardware or software which mimics the behavior of other computer operating systems. Yeah, that's just what an emulator is. The in-game reference is to the Zoar emulators. What emulating a Zoar actually amounts to, nor the exact purpose of the emulators is as of yet unknown. Interesting. Like the one thing I saw from this game, which I only realized was from this game because of some comment, was like a meme about Nintendo, and it was like a scene. I don't know if it might have been Guinan Jr. going like, "Damn, they fired up the emulators," and then he starts running. And then there was some stupid caption like, "Nintendo when Cephalon? Brain." Right. What else we got? Fifth Jerusalem, that's capital planet, right. Is that what we were looking out over with Cherenkov and that other guy that I forget his name of? We read about Hilbert effect recently. It was very dark in the wind. Howled horribly around her. L. Frank was the one. Oh, Wizard of Oz? Why is this in my database? I don't know. There's, I want to read about Mizrahi. He was born in 4701. He was 52 years old at time of death. An advocate of the 100 Series observational unit and essentially Momo's father. A scientist renowned for his genius, he died in TC 4753, the year that the Miltian conflict began. I can read. The Federation benefited greatly from his contributions, as his numerous research findings played a large part in the Federation's growth. He was also Julie Mizrahi's former husband. Guinan Kukai Jr. His hobby is collecting ancient texts and literature, as well as ancient, relative to his time period, weapons. Oh, so that's why he uses like fucking Colts. The official records state that he was born in TC 4755, goddammit, and is the adopted son of Guinan Kukai. I see. Julie, widow of Joachim. Her alarm over the increase in Gnosis phenomena prompted her to form the SOCE. She is the current legal guardian of Momo, one of the 100 series observational units. Maiden name is Niwashiro. I see. Keltia. The Seraphim Sisters concert. Okay. Sure. Kirschwasser. Cherry brandy. Kukai Foundation. Unique foundation whose membership extends to both Matthew and the Screw headquarters located on a free orbiting space colony. A special organization established soon after the end of the Miltian conflict, and its sole purpose was to subjugate the UTIC organization. Since then, most of its military forces were decommissioned and the other divisions branched off into independent civilian corporations, thus forming the basis for the foundation. It's a Saibatsu. That's what it is. The fact that Vector is one of its primary investors explains why the lion's share of the equipment installed aboard the Randall is made by Vector. I see. Remember Lake Turkana? Remember the Life Recycling Act, kind of, Margulis? Utic, commander of Pleroma. Is he the baddie with the scar? Yeah, there it is. Scar. He is intricately connected to both the incident which occurred 14 years ago in the Miltian conflict. Master Swordsman, a cold, merciless personality. From Grimm's Marienkind, a story about a girl who received from the Virgin Mary the keys to the 13 doors in heaven. Grimm, like the fairy tale brothers. Oh, yes, please. Mark that appeared on the forehead. This marking is given to every individual who has undergone the personality corrective procedure. I figured it has something to do with that. Mark is made by modifying the inner skin at a molecular level, then connecting that area with the part of the brain that was corrected. It appears when the recipient's emotions rise beyond a certain threshold. I see. A war constantly referred to throughout the episode. It's funny that they put it like that. The outbreak of hostilities began 14 years ago and ultimately dragged the entire Federation into it. The name originated from the fact that the territory of Miltia, where Shion was born, was the site of... Oh, she was born there. I forgot that. I appreciate databases in games because I forget things. I appreciate being able to go back and read because I forget. Miyuki. Have we ever seen her? She's a younger colleague of Shion's and quite a mechanical otaku. She doesn't name herself Otaku Convention though. She submits patents, I don't know, applications as a hobby, and constantly creates new inventions using Shion and the others as guinea pigs. As her supervisor, Shion is plagued by her constant expense authorization requests. Her full name is Miyuki Itsumi, and in a way she is a woman very true to her ambitions. The research institute where Yoki Mizrahi worked as chief scientist before the UTIC organization was established. It is a unique institute which combines neuroscience with phenomenology, and aside from the fact that it was sponsored by Vector Industries, there is very little known about it. Is there anything to read about Momo? She was created by Yoki Mizrahi, and she resembles his deceased daughter, Sakura Mizrahi. I see. Her outward appearance is that of a 12-year-old. I'm sure. She kinda seems a little bit younger, even to me. But she's also like a fucking anime character, so who knows. Empty field. The temporal lobe. Motion blindness. Said that to individuals with this condition, a normal conversation is perceived as a teleconference call with very slow transmission speeds. That sounds like it sucks. Phrase implying that genomes or hereditary information will somehow get around all obstacles in order to pass itself on. Does it imply that? Multiple weapon system, portable malfunction. Oh, it's the thing she's using. Fighting knuckles, taser rods, anti-gnosis beam launchers, built-in shield. Yeah, sure. Nano machines. Oh, is nano the word for dwarf? I see. In-game reference is to atom-sized machines which are used for everything from repairing body cells to terraforming. Yep, they can do whatever. They can make bisexuals into actual vampires. Treatment. One will try to treat with nanomachines. Okay. Nataraja, an avatar of Shiva represented as a dancing figure with many arms. It is of particular interest that this system is named after Shiva, who is also the god of creation and destruction. The system itself was designed by Kevin. That is interesting. Nero, the 5th Emperor of Rome. Nero is an angler in the Lake of Darkness. Next is 6. Serial number of the... Oh, right. The dog. I wanted to get you a real one. Reveals how real purebred dogs were extremely rare in that age, and Siggy, a policeman, could not possibly afford one. Hence, cheaper artificial dogs were popularized as substitutes. Interesting. Do androids dream of electric sheep? Cloning procedure. Cherenko's wife received from the Federation Health Department. Since the revocation of the Life Recycling Act, strict restrictions were placed on the process of cloning for personal reasons. After a lengthy application process, only those deemed physically and mentally sound with a record of positive contributions to the Federation government are granted this privilege. For Cherenkov's wife, who has always avoided intimacy with others, the method of cloning to leave behind descendants must have been a fairly natural decision. However, to Cherenkov, who dreamed or imagined that he dreamed of experience a connection with others, her decision came as an unbearable blow, a negation of his very existence and purpose. Did he actually kill her? I don't even know. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm sure. Artillery, Utic, sure, whatever. Gnosis sightings have been recorded throughout history, but due to the small scale of attacks and minimal damage which resulted, most of these encounters were lost as unofficial reports. Joachim Mizrahi was one of the few scientists who focused and researched these Gnosis encounters. Piera? Central supercomputer. Kinda wish they would put all the names of the Zoar emulators here. Planetary member vanished. Had a population of 1.5 billion. And it just vanished. That's fucked. Experimental laboratory owned by a UTIC organization was located here. It was also home to Cherenkov after his personality corrective procedure. Yes. Porters. Yeah. Sure. Procurator? Agent this is a lot. Whatever. Center? Planetary member with the Galaxy Federation. Seems to be a facility on this planet linked to the UTIC organization. Shelly. I don't remember you. Oh, she's one of the people on the ship. Is she the blonde? Aide to the chairman of the Kukai Foundation. She assists Junior and Guinan. And Guinan? I was under the impression that Guinan was dead. Might not be. She was once part of a group of people who were illegally owned by a pharmaceutical company that used them as guinea pigs. Jesus. 12 years ago, Guinan rescued her along with Mary, and she has made her home in the Foundation ever since. Her full name is Shelley Godwin. I see. Actually, yeah, whatever. Somatic monitor. Okay, I was kind of wondering about that. Subcommittee on Close Encounters. Researcher by the Federation to counter the Gnosis phenomena. Subcommittee has over 2,000 members representing government agencies, corporations, and various scientific fields. Julie is one of the Operational Core 7 members. Okay. Species Preservation Act. Okay, sure. Togashi? Okay, one of the people. He's in love with Miyuki, maybe. Too close to fire cannons. Zero gravity space warfare. Basic rule of engagement is to take into account the possibility of incurring damage to oneself via debris. That is actually interesting. That is, that would be a concern. During the story, an officer exclaims, "We're too close to fire the cannons," because the noses were too close to the ship and could not be fired upon for fear of debris damaging the ship. Although it sure did look like they were firing those things with reckless abandon. That's very funny that they would comment on their own writing and presentation like that. 12 apostles! The 12 followers of Jesus Christ, did you know? Sorry. Type 7 for a game. Personality control procedure. SH every violent criminal. Oh god. That's fucked up. You just override a person? That's like death penalty for all violent criminals. By essentially turning them into a different person. That's fucked up. Procedure itself is actually entails implanting a nanomachine which suppresses emotional impulses into the brain. God. There are a few individuals that are not cured by this, and even more extreme procedures, type 8 and type 9, are available. Incidentally, the ratio of male to female recipient, yeah, it would be 8 to 2. I'm surprised it's not 9 to 1. Actually, look down there. An increase in the proportion of females from the current ratio of Yes, exactly. Who cares? Uber humans? During the heyday of the life recycling act, many people opted to undergo artificial procedures to enhance physical abilities or to increase brain capacity. This term is used to describe those individuals or their descendants. Although Alan refers to them as mutants, these gifted individuals do not exhibit any external differences when compared to ordinary humans. Current Federation law prohibits any acts of discrimination against such people, yet feelings of hostility still abound in various corners of the galaxy. The Kukai Foundation not only protects these individuals, but also provides them with a means to support themselves. There's a lot of world building going on in this game that's in this database. I guess they don't wanna like clog up too much of the cutscenes with that, so they restrict it to here. Unknown territory of Territory Intervention and Creation Agency. An agency connected closely to the Militian conflict, references of which are made throughout episode 1, was buried in obscurity for decades, reappeared in TC 4767, which is when this story begins. An independent organization not associated with the Galaxy Federation is nevertheless whatever. V4 field. Visual fields in the brain. Vector, weapons, grade reality, and Wells aliens? First, the octopus-like Martians. She was, of course. In-game references to a comment Chia makes regarding Alan's stubbornness. You're usually so hard-headed with your logic and preconceptions. I was a little worried that you become like one of Wells' aliens. For better or worse, it appears as though Shion believes that Wells' aliens have very hard heads. Okay, sure. Y data. Okay. Secret 8. We're getting to Zoar. This is a Zoar incident. The incident that triggered a massive war with the Federation, which culminated in a militia conflict within the Federation. Although details pertaining to this incident are unknown, it was around this time that Cherenkov was born as a super soldier biological weapon. A mysterious golden object and the focal point of the story throughout the entire Xenosaga. Yes. Virgil. Fucking dead. Right, they were talking about like program levels and shit. Nothing about emulators. There we go. We did read that now that I think about it. God, there's a lot to keep in my brain. I'm trying.